It's time for another edition of Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. Made possible by Beth Smith at Edward Jones and ProMed Ambulance Services. On the eve of this Thanksgiving, here's one of my annual traditions on the air, often considered the worst wrestling gimmick of all time, the Gobbledy Gooker. The Gobbledy Gooker debuted at the first WWF Survivor Series on Thanksgiving Day 1990, which also saw the debut of The Undertaker. For those who don't know, it was Héctor Guerrero inside the turkey costume. When the character debuted, he hatched from an oversized egg, which had been on display at WWF events for months prior to the Survivor Series, and was heavily hyped on television. However, crowd reaction to the gimmick was extremely negative, with fans loudly booing as the costumed Guerrero danced in the ring with announcer Mean Gene Okerlund. Play-by-play broadcast announcers Gorilla Monsoon and Rowdy Roddy Piper tried their best to be enthusiastic. The character made a handful of appearances in taped promos following the Survivor Series, but was soon dropped from television. A few years later, the website WrestleCrap would use the name for its Gooker Award, presented for the worst gimmicks, storylines, or events in wrestling. After the character was shelved, the WWF did not mention it again for more than 10 years. The character was revived for WrestleMania X7 to participate in the Gimmick Battle Royale, an otherwise normal battle royale that was populated entirely by older, mostly retired wrestlers with outlandish gimmicks, as well as oddball one-offs like the Gobbledy Gooker. Though the costume was very different from the original, and the on-screen graphic misspelled the character's name as Gobbledy Gooker that night, Héctor Guerrero again wore the costume, being the second person eliminated in the match. On the November 26, 2015 broadcast of SmackDown, the Gobbledy Gooker made a return, this time with Xavier Woods under the costume, acting as the New Day's mascot for the night. However, it turned out to be Jey Uso when they kidnapped and tied up Woods before a match with the Lucha Dragons. On the November 21st, 2017 edition of 205 Live, Drew Gulak dressed up as the Gobbledy Gooker, referring to himself as the Gobbledy Gulacker. When Gene Okerlund was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006, he recalled some of his famous interviews, and he acknowledged that it was Héctor Guerrero in the costume, saying that, quote, "Héctor, we had a lot of fun, but all of this is forgotten." Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia? Then join me for Trivia Tracks weekdays at 6:45 on Everybody's Country Y95.